Harlequin best-selling author collection and HarperAudio present Still the One by Susan Mallory, previously published as Good Husband material, performed by Tanya Eby. Featuring the bonus story, Hometown Heroes Redemption by Jill Kemerer, performed by Tim Paige. Chapter 1. Carrie Asbury fully expected to have trouble cashing her out-of-state check. She just didn't think she would have to put her life on the line to do it. It wasn't just that the check was drawn from a bank in big, bad New York City. It was that her driver's license was also from that East Coast state. Ida Mae Montel would want to know why a girl born and raised in Possum Landing, Texas, would willingly run off to a place like that, a place with Yankees. And if a girl had to do such a thing, why on earth would she give up her Texas driver's license? Didn't everyone want to be from the Lone Star State? No doubt Sue Ellen Boudin, the bank manager, would mosey on over to examine the check, all the while holding it like it was attached to a poisonous snake. They'd make a few calls, probably to friends, letting them know that Carrie was back in town, and with a New York driver's license of all things. They'd hem and haw and sigh heavily. Then they'd give Carrie the money. Oh, but first they'd try to talk her into opening an account right there at the First Bank of Possum Landing. Carrie hesitated in front of the double glass doors, trying to figure out if she really needed the cash that badly. Maybe it would be better to pay the service fee and get the money out of the ATM machine. Then she reminded herself that the quicker everyone realized she'd returned to town for a very temporary visit, the quicker all the questions would be asked and answered. Then maybe she could have a little peace. Maybe. There was the added thrill of finding out if Ida Mae still wore her hair in a beehive. How much hairspray did that upswept style require? Carrie knew for a fact that Ida Mae only had her hair done once a week. Yet it looked exactly the same on day 7 as it did on day 1. Still smiling at the memory of Ida Mae's coiffure, she pulled open the door and stepped inside. She paused just past the threshold and waited for the shrieks of welcome and the group hug that would follow. Nothing happened. Carrie frowned. She glanced around at the bank established in 1892. Taking in the tall, narrow windows, the real wood counters and stylish paneling. Ida Mae was in a regular spot, the first position on the left, as befitted the head teller. But the older woman wasn't talking. She wasn't even smiling. Her small eyes widened with something that looked like panic, and she made an odd gesture with her hand. Before Carrie could figure out what it meant, something hard and cold pressed against her cheek.
"Well, looky here. We got us another customer, boys. At least this one's young and pretty. What my mama used to call a tall drink of water. That's something."
Carrie's heart stopped. It might be nearly 90 in the shade outside, but here in the bank, it felt closer to absolute zero. Slowly, very slowly, she turned toward the man who was holding a gun. He was short, stocky, and wearing a ski mask. What on earth was going on?
"We're robbing the bank,"
the man said, as if he could read her mind. His astuteness startled her, until she realized his deduction wasn't much of a stretch. She quickly glanced around. There were 4 of them, counting the man holding a gun on her. 2 kept all the customers and most of the employees together at the far end of the bank, while the last one was behind the counter, putting money that Ida Mae handed him into a bag.
"You go ahead and set your purse on the floor," the man in front of her said. "Then start walking toward the other ladies. Do what you're told, and no one will get hurt."
Carrie flexed her hands slightly. Her chest tightened, and it was nearly impossible to speak. I don't have a purse." She didn't. She'd come into the bank with a check and her driver's license. Both were in the back pocket of her shorts. The robber stared at her for a couple of seconds, then nodded.
"Seems you don't. Now head on over there."
This couldn't be happening, Carrie thought. even as she headed for the cluster.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?